With De'Aaron Fox out with injury, the Warriors again played the Sacramento Kings, this time at home. That ended with the Klay Thompson game winner. I want to focus on one of Golden State's new additions in Dario Šarić, who was brought in as a stretch big. He had his best game of the year so far, and I want to break down his performance as a small ball 5. Šarić has always been a solid player, but his start with Golden State has been rough to say the least. Playing a small ball 5 guarding a premier big man in Sabonis was never his strength, so his role with the Warriors is a new test. Here we have GB2 and CP3 do a dribble handoff with the Kings, and they switch to on-ball action. When Paul immediately swings the ball up top, Payton opens up his body to get good position on a taller but weaker defender in Malik Monk. Smart tic-tac-toe bounce pass by Šarić leads to a tough hook shot by GB2 that was probably a foul as well. Here we have an on-ball pick by GB2, and while the Kings switch this, there's a simultaneous pin down on the strong side by Šarić to try and free up Klay. Chris Duarte does not cheat the screen and instead trails Thompson to try and avoid the switch, so Klay keeps curling and gets dribble penetration when Duarte slips on the floor. Now he has McGee in a drop, and a smart pass out to Šarić, who hits the baseline midi. If you haven't noticed yet, the second unit has been tremendous when Steph has been out. Led by Chris Paul, the Warriors stay rotating the ball here when Jonathan Kuminga attacks a mismatch in McGee. I'm glad he did not settle here, as it forced two Kings players to rotate over once McGee bit on the pump fake. Even though this was supposed to be Monk's rotation as the clear weak side low man, Duarte completely ignores Šarić and also comes to double, and a nice find by JK for another midi by Šarić. CP3 and Šarić go back to the Suns days just a couple years ago, and I'm sure they've run many pick and rolls with Šarić as the small ball 5. Here he flips the screen, knowing his defender in McGee is best around the rim, and he is a relatively high drop and waits until Colby Jones fights to recover. A simple pick and pop opens a long contest from McGee as Šarić steps into a triple. In a similar situation on defense now, McGee comes for the high pick and roll, giving Monk a full straight line drive to attack the basket. As a small ball 5, Šarić was never a big shot blocker, so here he swipes to pretend to rotate, but backs up at the last second to try to prevent a roll pass or lob to McGee. I would assume this would be a typical pick and roll defense coverage by him, but here Monk blows a layup and Šarić grabs a big rebound and gets the stop. Again, I am never going to mind a Chris Paul pick and roll. Here Šarić sets a solid screen to get Sabonis into action, and since CP is not Steph Curry, Sabonis plays a drop and allows Monk to recover over the screen. The game plan by Sacramento was to allow Šarić perimeter shots, and I think they'll live with this statistically too. CP pump fakes and gets the pick and pop option by kicking it out for another Šarić 3. There you guys have it, a quick breakdown on Dario Šarić's best game so far in the young season. It was an experiment to play him as a small ball 5, but he was able to stretch the floor and make plays a few times, and defensively got a couple nice stops and rebounds in traffic. Overall, he still needs to improve on his turnovers and shot making, but last night's performance was as optimistic, I should say. It's not his natural position, so I'll give him some leeway before making a conclusion on this game plan. Now onto the in-season tournament, so if you guys like this breakdown, like and subscribe to see more.